and happy holidays from Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, where Cannabis Talk Show Live is at the inaugural High Times Business Summit. And we're here with the CEO of High Times, Mr. David Cole. David, welcome to Cannabis Talk Show Live.
Thank you.
And thank you for allowing Cannabis Talk Show Live to be here for this amazing event. As I say, a can-amazing event.
Can-amazing.
Yes, sir.
For David, all that can-curious.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, David, if you can, go ahead and tell our audience why High Times decided to start this amazing business summit.
Well, it's super important for us to come to Washington, D.C. for a couple of reasons. Number one, as we look at the political presidential campaign, it's happening now. And what better place to put a stake in the ground and say, listen, we know to all Americans that the issue of cannabis consumption, medicinal or adult use, is a priority. And Americans everywhere want to know where their politicians stand. Number one. Number two is when you consider the East Coast of America, you have the District of Columbia is the first place to have both legalized medicinal and legalized adult use on the East Coast. So we said, what better place to start this? And considering the legislation from senatorial, congressmen, etc., this is an opportunity for the politicians to come together and merge with businessmen, business executives, CEOs from a whole range of companies, as well as professors, doctors, etc. So that was the goal, bring the group together to inspire and to enlighten and to talk about the challenges of the industry and then move the ball forward.
Great, absolutely fabulous. And this is the inaugural. What are the plans to continue this great summit across the nation? Is this a tour?
So it's not necessarily a tour. We'll probably look to do between 2 and 3 on an annual basis. And they will be even more immersive, and potentially some might even be smaller and more focused to a business CEO summit to really dig deep and hard on the issues that the industry faces and to look to correct them and be proactive, to create pro-social campaigns, to look at the environment of self-regulation. We have an industry with so many rules and regulations and laws on a state-by-state basis. I think it's upon us to be proactive. It's almost our obligation to self-regulate and make it the best industry we possibly can for the American public.
Well, High Times Magazine definitely has the authority, and they definitely have the guidelines to do that. Yeah. Being 42 years strong in this business before anything had the momentum as the cannabis industry has today. So everyone is applauding High Times for stepping into the business summit of the cannabis industry.
Yeah, thank you. It's funny. When you refer to High Times as the magazine, absolutely, that's where the roots of the company were centered. But it's a broad content company now that has a platform that spans well beyond just print into the digital space. So whether it's web, whether it's mobile apps, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, and creating a forum for journalists, reporters, videographers like yourself, to have content, and the content pushed out to a broader audience, not just on the High Times platform, but soon to be syndicated content on other platforms, whether that is across Yahoo or AOL or YouTube. So you'll see more High Times channels in the future that will have an array of content for consumers, not just domestically, but internationally, to see about the changing, evolving landscape in the cannabis industry.
Great. So this will be another opportunity for cannabis related businesses and cannabis industry businesses to advertise and promote themselves 200%. In various ways.
200%.
Wow.
And by creating a platform that is not just High Times, that goes beyond.
Yes, sir.
And if we have a team of executives that are managing the marketing, it'll enable us to take a brand, any brand in the industry, and say, listen, you can be a part of this whole medicinal platform that not only spans High Times Mobile, High Times Web, High Times Television, High Times YouTube, AOL, etc., so they can reach a much broader audience with one phone call.
Great. And so you have the High Times app now? Is that available?
Yeah, there's a High Times mobile app that exists today.
Right, great. Well, High Times, thank you so much again for allowing Cannabis Talk to be here at this inaugural event. It has been an epic week, and we want to acknowledge Mr. Michael Kennedy.
Definitely, you absolutely have to.
For just allowing you to come in and just take this to another level.
Well,
I look forward to meeting him.
Well, I'm sure you will someday.
Yes, sir.
He's super excited about the transformation. He's looking to innovate and just have the content be spread to a much broader audience.
Great. Well,
thank you.
Thank you, David. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
I salute you.
Okay. Thank you to all of you.
Thank you. Cannabis Talk Show live at the High Times Business Summit in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. We're going to be at all of the High Times Business Summits. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Talk Show Live. We're still here at the inaugural High Times Business Summit in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and I'm sitting here with Chris Bill with Weed Maps, and Chris is the Creative Strategist Officer. Chris, thank you for being on Cannabis Talk Show Live.
Thank you for having me.
And how have you guys been experiencing the first inaugural High Times Business Summit?
It's been great. We've had a wonderful time here. It's been really nice coming to DC and being on the East Coast and meeting, I think, both a lot of the guys we know who have been in business for a long time on the West Coast, as well as a lot of new people on the East Coast who are either looking to get into the industry or already have some of their early dispensaries in places like New York or other places like that.
Great, and it's so awesome to see Weed Maps support all of the cannabis events that happen throughout the country. Mm-hmm. And do you guys also go abroad? Maybe?
Yeah. So we have offices in Spain, and we'll be at Cannabis coming up a little bit later in this year, or actually it'll be the beginning of this coming year. And we also have an office in Canada, so we're looking to increase the amount of events we do up in places like Vancouver and Toronto, where the industry up there is booming. And with Prime Minister Trudeau, they're looking to recreational legalization.
Oh, that's great. Chris, if you can, tell us some things about Weed Maps, what's going on, and I think you have been telling me about the new Weed Maps shop. If you could tell our viewers about that, because it sounds kind of amazing.
So I think everyone knows about the core Weed Maps site, which is essentially where people go to find dispensaries and what they're selling and find more information about dispensaries and delivery services. We're then launching shop.weedmaps in the first quarter of this coming year. We're really, really excited about it. And shop.weedmaps is sort of like an Amazon experience for the cannabis industry. And it includes selling things like glassware, apparel, all the sort of products that people sort of know and love in the industry, but having a single place to go and find all of that, as well as while we don't sell, having a listing page for makers of concentrate or growers who have flower, where they can have a brand page and everyone can come and learn about the craft that they're practicing, the products that they have, and then find the medical or recreational dispensaries or retail locations where you can buy that product nearby where you are. So we're incredibly excited about that. I think that one of the things the industry really needed is a central portal where you can have a page, tell a little bit about what you are and what your company's history is, and then showcase your products and simplify the process of fulfilling your orders and interacting with customers.
Oh, absolutely. That's fabulous. What a great platform Weed Maps will be establishing. How soon before consumers, vendors will be able to see Weed Maps shop?
So for vendors, we've been onboarding folks. Yes, for vendors, we've been onboarding people for about a year, and we're an open platform. It's free to come on board and have a brand page and list your products. We can help with product photography, or people can provide their own. And so it's actually been a labor of love. We've been working on it for about a year to get a really rich and fulsome experience with the people who are on and have things to sell. And we'll be launching to consumers where they can go and start buying whatever they want to buy in the first quarter of this coming year.
Oh, that's amazing. And how should they go about finding Weed Shop? Just go to Weed Maps, and you guys have a splash page?
If you go to weedmaps.com, there will be a shop button up at the top. Right now it's just a landing page sort of waiting for it to go live. So you can get it to it through weedmaps.com or shop.weedmaps. And once you go there, you'll be able to just start browsing. It's broken down by category and product type. And you can either find local retail locations that sell the product or just directly buy through the site.
Great. And you said it's absolutely free for the vendors to advertise their products or to promote their products on Weed Map Shop.
Yep, that's right.
Well, Chris, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience about Weed Maps and about the cannabis industry in general?
I think the other thing to mention generally is I think, we at Weed Maps are just really excited, I think, about the growth of the industry and the fact that you can come out to events like this and you just see, such a rich cross-section of people who are really passionate about the industry and the growth of the industry. And I think, one of the areas that we're also expanding in the coming year to help support that is the portal for learning content for people who are new in the industry and just want to find out, new to cannabis, and just want to find out a bit more about the medicine, about the plant. And then also content and lifestyle channels through Weedmaps TV, marijuana.com, where people can come and find kind of whatever type of content they're looking for, whether it's something funny, something informational. And so we'll be launching or relaunching that content channel later this coming year.
Great. Well, Chris Bill, thank you so much again for being a part of Cannabis Talk Show Live. We're live and direct from the inaugural High Times Business Summit in Washington, D.C. I'm your host, Johnny Matthews. Thank you so much. And happy holidays again from the inaugural High Times Business Summit right here in your nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And I'm your host, Johnny Matthews, Cannabis Talk Show Live. I'm with Normal, actually Virginia Normal, which is a great organization continuing to help us with that fight to continue this positive movement in the cannabis industry. And I'm standing here with Miss Pamela Novi, and she's one of the directors of Virginia Normal. Pamela, how are you enjoying the week so far? And tell our viewers a little bit about what you guys do out here on the East Coast in Virginia.
All right. It's been, first of all, an excellent conference. It's great to see so many, first of all, businesses here, people interested in growing an industry. I mean, just in terms of, jobs in Virginia. Now, for the Virginia law is quite a bit behind several other states, and our state law does not allow for a ballot initiative. So we cannot go out and gather signatures and get, say, a legalization bill to vote on. We have to rely on our state legislators to do their job and write bills and pass them.
Yes.
We're currently in the process of a number of campaigns with legislators and an upcoming lobby day. We have the next legislative session that's about to start. We think we're going to have actually several bills presented. We have a very strong group in Virginia for NORML, many citizen lobbyists, and 7 or 8 chapters around the state. So I'm the director of Virginia NORML, but we have reach all around the state. And a number of coalitions. So we're here, lots of folks visiting from Virginia, but also Maryland and Washington, D.C., and business people who would like to come to Virginia if we change our policies. So this has been a great conference. I'm very happy to be here.
Great. Well, Pamela, thank you so much for sharing that amazing, as I say, amazing information with Cannabis Talk Show Live. This is a beautiful table, and these are some of your sponsors, people that support Virginia NORML, giving you great items to fundraise with, right?
Yes, and I cannot take credit for anything on this table. This is Jen Michelle Pagini, who is our deputy director. She has coordinated getting lots of donations for items that we also sometimes raffle off, but also accept donations for. This is one of our fundraising efforts, among other things. But she does a fantastic job setting up a table, I really have to say.
Great. She did do a great job. So a big shout out to Jen. Thank you again, Pamela. It's been great. And Cannabis Talk Show Live, we've just had an amazing few days here at the Inaugural High Times Business Summit. We thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. Boys,
What's going on?
Smack
Hey,
Boys.
what's going on?
Hey, Johnny Matthews, Cannabis Talk Show Live.
Nice.
How are you doing? I
Tell
go by the
me
name
a
of
little-
Scoop.
Scoop.
Yes.
Johnny B.
Johnny B. That's easy to remember. I'm Johnny M.
Raheem. Raheem.
Raheem, I love that.
I'm Dom.
Dom.
Yes,
Smack
yes.
Boys.
Smack Boy.
Smack Boy. So you guys are from the ATL?
Yes, coming out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Coming up here to enjoy this High Times Business Summit, and pretty much introduce our brand here. We like to consider ourselves a lifestyle brand. You know what I mean? Not only do we do the apparel, but we also have some entertainment aspects on our website, smackboy.com.
Smackboy.com.
Yeah, we have some music that we have, and we also have some visuals up there as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We got a new skit that we just filmed called Mismatched. And it's F-word hilarious. So I recommend you go to smackboy.com right now and check that out, Mismatched.
All right. Johnny B, thank you for, he said F word.
Hilarious.
You right?
F word hilarious.
That's F-word hilarious because I'm not here to offend the kids.
Yeah, and he must know the Cannabis Talk Show Live. We don't talk like that anyway.
Nice.
Mad respect for him.
Thank you.
Smack Boy. We love this.
I appreciate the
Happy
love.
holidays
you.
to you guys.
Happy holidays as well.
We're going to
Thank
take
you.
this all around the world.
Yeah.
You know,
All right.
we're from the West Coast.
Okay.
LA's in the house.
All right.
They say that's the best coast, but I don't know. I can't call it.
Well, we've had an amazing time, as we say, amazing time right here in Washington, D.C.
All right.
For sure.
Great to meet you guys.
Great to meet
so
you.
when we come to the ATL, you guys are going to take care of us, right?
You
Most
know
definitely.
it.
All right.
You know it. Blow it down.
All right.
Midtown.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Hey, have a good one.
Smack boy.
All right, no problem.
All right.
When you ask, who are you? It's easy to just name off your accolades and say that's just you. So I'm Charlo, I'm 27, I own the Alaska Cannabis Club, founder of Go Green, which is an organization aimed at cultivating diversity in cannabis, but that doesn't really tell you much about me. So the real me, I'm a warrior for good. I have an extremely empathetic heart, and I'm driven by my passion to help people in need. And cannabis provided me the opportunity to be and do just that. So I had a career that I loved. I was a journalist, and I believed that I was pursuing my passion in that and fulfilling my purpose of helping people in need. I know that I'm blessed to be one of few people that are able to find out what it is that they feel is their true calling, and I found it at a relatively early age. So I, of course, grew up in Alaska. A lot of people ask, there are Black people in Alaska? At which I usually respond, well, I'm here now, but when I get back, yes. But we got to Alaska when I was about 6 years old. And all of my classmates would ask what San Diego was like, and I would tell them two things: that once it was so hot I was able to fry an egg on a sidewalk once, and that everywhere outside smelled like chocolate. Now, I learned in a few years in high school that chocolatey aroma I was describing to all of my classmates in elementary school was in fact weed. And to lay out the green print for the Alaska Cannabis Club, the only safe access point in the state of Alaska to date. And on April 20th, 420 of course, 2014, the Alaska Cannabis Club went live. And so here I have dedicated years to becoming a journalist in order to try and help out people, and within hours I was receiving just the surety that this was the new direction I needed to go on. I was being thanked by people that were appreciative that someone was brave and ballsy enough to finally help out this desperate community. And I'll never forget the first Alaska Cannabis Club member that I met. We'll call her Sam, and she was dying from a rare neurological disorder. And Sam's doctor figured, why not give her medical marijuana? There's really nothing to lose here. So when she asked where to get it, Sam's doctor told her she could find it off the street. Within this, yeah, seriously. So within the 6 months of her holding her medical marijuana card, Sam had been robbed twice, once at gunpoint, all following doctor's orders to fill a prescription, off the street for the first time in her life at 72. So Sam decided to pray for the first time in a long time, longer than I had actually been alive. And she told me that after she finished praying, she got online and akcannabisclub.com, the website for Alaska Cannabis Club, popped up. And I was standing in front of her the next day. She was about 6 feet tall. You could tell she grew up tough, ranching and everything, and she was weeping, tears of joy, thanking me for the service I provided, telling me that what I was there doing had just renewed her faith in God. And so from then on, it was simple. That was the path I was meant to continue walking on. I'll actually be back in town launching my Go Green groups in this area. Go Green is grassroots evolution through education, networking, and empowerment. We're an organization launching tons of groups all over the nation, looking for people ready to lead their communities through the end of prohibition. Our focus is on cultivating diversity, unity, and opportunity in cannabis. Head over to gogreen.org, that's GOGREENE.org, and also head to charlottegreen.com. I'll be here in March, so looking forward to that.
What up? Go. Peace.
You're so urban.
All right, see ya.